Guys, I have a confession to make. I only read like 18 volumes of manga this month. I know, it's pretty bad. Yokoso, my manga society. So like I just mentioned, I read 18 volumes of manga in the month of July. And when you count out the series, the amount of series that I read, it comes out to 13. What I'm gonna be doing is ranking the 13 series that I read and talking a little bit about each of them. So now we can just like start with number 13. And this is a series that we rented from the library. This was volume 1 of Run With Your New Legs. Now this is number 13 because I personally didn't really enjoy the series too much just based off the first volume, and there's only 5 volumes. So after looking up some more info, it does seem like it got canceled, which I could kind of see why. It was a great concept and I really wanted it to work for me, but unfortunately it really didn't. There were some cool concepts in there, like it was setting up a good rival, it was setting up some pretty cool characters, but I feel like the execution really just wasn't there. So number 12 is Fist of the North Star Volume 17. So Volume 17 as in the deluxe edition or omnibus. And after this, there's only one more volume that has to come out when it comes to those nice omnibus editions. So everything from here on, I'm just gonna say I enjoyed. It's extremely hard for me to rank these because most of the time I read manga that I really enjoy, so just because some of these are lower on the list does not mean I did not enjoy them. Fist of the North Star was really good. I feel like I put it a little lower this time than usual because I feel like I heard somewhere someone talk about, I think I watched this video about someone say that this story should have ended after the Rao arc, and I like totally agreed. Now I do enjoy like the silly fighting and like the goofy concepts and stuff, so it's still really enjoyable, but I feel like it could have ended sooner. Number 11 is A Man and His Cat. Again, this is an absolutely amazing story. I would urge anyone to check this out if they just like a nice relaxing story with some plot and then also some like cat memes in the middle of it as well. It's like really good for what it is. It's pretty decent, so I would definitely check it out. Number 10 is Wand Dance. So I apologize that I don't have like some of these volumes with me. So most of them so far have been rented from the library. Some of them I'm gonna collect later on, but for now I do enjoy just like checking the series out on its own and then figuring out if I like that series. So Wand Dance volumes 1 through 3. So overall, I feel like Wand Dance could definitely do better like paneling wise. A lot of the pages seemed very compact with a lot of, I feel like, unnecessary paneling and a lot of dialogue that's not necessarily needed. And I feel like it's getting better after reading volume 3. It's definitely resolved that a little bit, but I feel like it could still do that moving forward. But after reading the first 3 volumes, I am definitely still interested in the series. The first volume was a little shaky, the second volume definitely got better, and the third volume has been the best volume of them all. So I'm actually really excited to see where the story progresses. And the art for this manga is actually really good in terms of like some of the panels where it's depicting the dancing. Now number 9 was actually Thunder 3 volume 5. So this was a pretty good read. The story's progressing quite nicely. I feel like a lot of the volumes have definitely been mostly like fighting, but I feel like we're starting to see more of a progression into the plot of the story, which is nice. And it just keeps like getting crazier and crazier, so I would definitely read this if I were you. So number 8 is actually Dragon and Chameleon. Dragon and Chameleon is a manga that I picked up a few months ago, and volume 3 just came out. I read it. This is also progressing pretty nicely, the story. I feel like the pacing's been pretty good. I said this in another video, but I feel like I don't hear anyone talking about this, and I'd like some other people to try it and maybe tell me like what they think about it, because I feel like I'm the only one reading it right now. And I don't know, I'd like other opinions as well. If you don't know what it is, it's about a couple mangakas that have switched bodies and they're kind of like competing with each other, so it's really cool. Number 7, I feel like this doesn't need any sort of like introduction. I feel like most, if not all, manga and anime fans know of it. Soul Eater. This is the Perfect Edition Volume 3. So I believe these have 1.5 volumes in them, if I'm not mistaken. And reading this is interesting because the art's definitely not as good as, you know, the anime art was. I definitely know that this mangaka gets better at drawing and at just like manga in general, because I've seen panels of Fire Force and the art's definitely a lot better than this. I feel like maybe this was like early on in their career, but I am enjoying it nonetheless. I'm not saying it's like bad by any means, but yeah, this is my number 7. So number 6 is a new manga that just recently came out, which is The Bugle Call. So this was actually a really fantastic read, and I'm surprised that it made it on the list like so high. But I just wanted to say, like, if you're like on the fence or haven't like heard about this yet, I would definitely try this out. It's about this bugler that kind of like goes to war, or is kind of like forced into like battles and stuff, and I feel like there's this like fantasy twist on it. It's actually really good. Don't get confused when like you hear it's about like a bugler and stuff. It like actually has like some fantasy elements to it. It's actually really nice, and the art is great. I'm actually like really excited to see where the story goes from here. So now we're gonna get into the top 5 on my July reading log right after this. Snepkin. So we're back with number 5. Number 5 is actually Fool Night. So Fool Night, I feel like I said this in my other video, but I feel like this is pretty underrated for how long it's been out. I think I remember hearing people talk about it when the first volume came out, but since then, it's been like silence. No one's been talking about this at all. And I just like highly recommend this. I know I've said this in other videos, but the premise is like so unique, and I feel like it's just like never been done before, and it's kind of like genius. So art's really good, story's really good. That's all I really have to say about it. So number 4 is actually The Climber Volume 2. So this was a pretty good read. The art's absolutely like amazing. It's kind of crazy how good the art is. Obviously, I feel like most people like know about this manga coming out. It was such a highly anticipated manga to come out, and I feel like so far it's like living up to its hype. So some of the themes that it's kind of like building up, I feel like maybe I don't necessarily agree with, but I feel like I rated this highly because so far the story has like made me like feel things emotionally, and the art's amazing, and I am excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see what kind of character growth the main character has, and kind of where some of the other characters go as well. I feel like it's building such a good cast, and yeah, I'm just excited to see where it goes. So number 3 is surprisingly Blue Lock. I say surprisingly because it's one of my favorite mangas, but I'm kind of raking these on the amount of enjoyment I had reading it this last month. Now, don't get me wrong, this was like out of the world for me because finally we get to see Kaiser in action, and the only thing I've gotten from the beginning of this arc was like spoilers. I am caught up like later on in the arc, but previous plot points from this arc is kind of new to me, so I was super excited to like read this volume. And as always, like the art's fantastic. It's, you know, 10 out of 10. The story's building up. Obviously, I know where it's going, so I feel like that's a little unfair of me to rank it based off that, but I still enjoyed this greatly nonetheless. So number 2 was actually volumes 2 through 4 of Hirayasumi. Now, if you know me at all or watched one of my previous videos, Goblin and I had talked about our thoughts on whether Hirayasumi was worth it or not. So if you haven't already, go check out that video. These volumes really got me so hooked onto this manga, and I feel like it has such good character-driven story, which is like, I don't know, this story really pulls you in, makes you want to know and just kind of like be with the characters themselves. And it's just very cozy and makes you really curious about where these characters are going to be going in life in the next few volumes. So enjoyed this a lot. So number 1 on my list. Number 1 is Akane Banashi Volume 12. So this volume, something pretty big happened. I enjoyed it a lot. Art's amazing, 10 out of 10. Story is just being driven like beautifully, pacing wise, and just enjoyment wise. So I ranked this number 1 on my July reading log. And so I feel like if you haven't heard of Akane Banashi, you should definitely try it out, because right now, currently, it's probably my definite favorite manga that's currently being published in Shonen Jump. And that's kind of crazy. I feel like you don't see stories this good with like female protagonists as well. So it's really nice to see, and I don't know, you should definitely check it out. So that's it for my reading log of July. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And let me know down below what you've been up to this month. What have you been reading, or what are you looking forward to in the month of August and September? There's definitely a lot of cool mangas coming out, which I'm like extremely excited for. I've gotten some really good ones that I'm gonna be reading, and I'm excited to talk about those in the next reading log as well. So don't forget to subscribe to join the Manga Society today. And as always, this world is cruel, but at least we have manga.